Hello, everyone, and welcome to Otterbein360.com's postseason preview show for Otterbein Athletics. I'm Adam Prescott, assistant SID. Pleased to be joined by head women's soccer coach Brandon Koons and junior midfielder Alyssa Hale. Thanks so much for sitting down with us.
Thanks.
Coach, you guys are ranked 4th in the country. You just capped your first unbeaten regular season in program history. You have the top seed in the upcoming OAC tournament. You have to be pleased with where your program's at right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we knew this was going to be a tough year with everybody. You know, we've had 2 good years in a row, and we know it's a big game for everyone, and we got to try to match that intensity, and to do that over the course of 17 games is impressive. I'm really happy.
Mm-hmm. Talk about the final week here. You were able to clinch the regular season title against Wilmington, a game that got delayed, and then at Mount Union to finish off a regular season, which, you know, some people say, oh, they may not have a lot to play for, but, you know, it's a lot easier to say that than to actually be in your shoes.
Yeah, I mean, Wilmington was in it. They knew before they played us where they would finish in the conference. But it's Wilmington and Otterbein. That's always a big game, and there's a huge history between those teams, and there was no way anyone was going to be taking that game easily. And then, you know, Mount was trying to get into 6th place that day, so they absolutely had a lot to play for.
Alyssa, you're a junior on this team, an upperclassman, but you have 8 seniors leading the way, kind of making up a large part of the identity of this team. Talk about how awesome it's been to kind of play behind them a year and learn from them, and also what these 8 seniors mean to your team, especially this season.
Well, they're definitely a huge part of our team. We couldn't be where we're at right now without them. It's been great coming in my freshman year and having all them to look up to, and for the past 3 years, having them to get advice from, and they've been a great part of our team. They have helped out so much on and off the field, and we're going to miss them a lot next year.
Yeah. You actually just scored your first career goal a few matches ago against Muskingum. Talk about what that was like for you. You can describe it if you want, but how special was that? You have so many girls contributing on your team, and for you to get your first career goal, I'm sure was special to you.
It was. It was kind of like finally I got my first goal junior year. It was great because it was my first game back from being injured, and it was the second half. I was sitting on the bench thinking, oh, Brandon's not going to put me back in. I'm not going to be able to score my goal like I wanted to. And then 10 minutes left, he's like, Alyssa, get in. So I'm like, yes, now I can score. And I actually finally got to score my first goal, and it was really great.
Mm-hmm. You guys have so many players on your team that can contribute, and you're actually a prime example of a girl who could probably start on any other team in the conference. You could be one of the top players on any other team. On this team, you have 14, 15, 16, 17 players that could all, you know, are interchangeable, can all rotate. How crucial is that going to be for you guys entering the postseason? A lot of teams shorten their bench, maybe and only bring 1 or 2 subs off the bench. You guys might have the luxury of, you know, going 4 or 5 off your bench. How much of an asset is that for you guys?
It's very important because, I mean, you know, we have injuries, we have people getting hurt, people getting yellow cards, whatever, and bringing people off the bench, you don't see a drop in the intensity, or, you know, they come on, they work hard, they know they have to make an impact, and so it's very important that when we bring our players off the bench, we don't see a change in the intensity and how we play against the other teams. So, I mean, it's going to be great for us next year. We have a lot of sophomores that are going to be able to step up and make a difference.
Mm-hmm. Brandon, one of those players is Kristen Harold. She's coming off a huge week, probably the top candidate for OAC Player of the Week. Scored the game-winning goal to clinch the OAC championship against Wilmington. Had 2 assists on Saturday. She's now the all-time career assist leader at Otterbein. She leads the league this year. She broke the single-season record at Otterbein. What's she meant to your team? This, you know, coming down the stretch here, she's really, you know, elevated her play.
I mean, I don't think it's any surprise that anyone knows that we do so much around set pieces, you know, and she's had that tremendous service for years. And in 2008, we had a similar season. We scored a lot of goals that way, but for some reason last year it just didn't really pay off. The service was there, but the finishing wasn't. And it's just nice now to have the finishing, and I know Chris is really happy about that too. Mm-hmm. She's got a lot of assists this year, and honestly could have more. You know, we had a goal called back that shouldn't have been a few weeks ago.
Mm-hmm. You're ranked 4th in the nationally, and the NCAA regional rankings came out, and you find yourself sitting 5th. For, you know, could be a variety of factors. Obviously, they look at conferences and schedules and whatnot. How much motivation are you able to use that, you know, as a tool to get these girls going and kind of play with a chip on your shoulder?
I mean, every year we use our non-conference schedule to try to make sure that if something were to go wrong and we weren't, you know, we didn't win our conference final, that we would want to get in the NCAA tournament that way through an at-large bid. And you know, everything was going fine. We had done really well and figured we had that in our back pocket. And then when the rankings came out and they had knocked us from first down to fifth, and we haven't allowed a goal in a month, and let alone lost a game. So that was a little bit disappointing, a little bit frustrating. But in the end, when we walked in and we explained to the team what happened, and it was just one more opportunity for people to say, hey, we wanted to do this anyway. We wanted to win the conference tournament anyway. So, if there was any reason that we thought we could get by not doing it, that reason is gone now. It's just one more reason to make sure we win it all.
Mm-hmm. Alyssa, what do you guys feel as players when you hear that? I mean, does it kind of upset you at first and take you back like you guys aren't getting enough credit?
Oh,
but
yeah,
then you have to
definitely.
turn around quick and just say, you have to use this as a positive.
Right. At first we were very frustrated with it and kind of taken back and surprised. But now we're kind of looking at it as, okay, maybe this isn't such a bad thing. It just forces us to work harder and want to prove it to them more.
Mm-hmm. Regardless of regional ranking, you guys have been ranked in the top 5 in the nation over the last month of the season. You guys are expected to win every game you play up until, maybe almost the very end. There's a lot of excitement generated around your program, around campus, first unbeaten season. Do you as players feel pressure to go out there and play? Or maybe it could be a good pressure at times?
I would say it's a good pressure. We do feel pressured a little bit because we've been doing so well, and we know that other teams want to come in and ruin it for us. So we know that we have to step it up every game. It doesn't matter how strong or weak the team is, that it's a big game every time we play. And I would say it's more of a good pressure than anything.
Alyssa, you guys your team's allowed 3 goals all season. And those few goals that you've allowed, I think when they go in the back of the net, not even you guys, but the fans and people watching kind of wait and say, oh my God, did that just happen? How much pride do you take? You're ranked first in the country in shutout percentage. That's as great a defense as you guys have had over the last few years, that you haven't been at the top of the nation. Talk about how special that's been and how much you pride in posting a shutout.
We definitely take a lot of pride in our shutouts. Our team defensively has been great. We, like you said, when we get scored on, it's kind of like, whoa, what just happened? We go into games expecting not to get scored on. That's our biggest thing, is we're going to get a shutout. We're not going to let teams score on us, and we have a really strong defense, and it starts from the forwards. It's the whole team working together to keep the ball out of our net.
Mm-hmm. Brandon, it was vastly important for you guys to clinch a third straight OAC regular season championship. How important is it for you to win the OAC tournament for a third straight year?
I mean, I think the biggest thing for me has always been when we believe we have the best team, we just want it to be shown that way. I think a lot of the girls on the team, we've proven it this year. We've won the OAC and gone through undefeated, and no one's even tied us and that kind of thing. And anything can happen in the tournament, but I think we've proven from our non-conference schedule to our conference schedule in the course of the season, the course of the past 3 years, that we have the best team in the conference right now. And that'll change in the future, and good teams come in waves, and other teams will have great teams, and it'll come and go. But when it's all said and done, we want to be able to look back this season and make sure that the history books record the fact that we were the best team. And anything could happen, like I said, but I think it would just be kind of sick for many of our older kids to look back and think that someone else is calling themselves conference champions. Mm-hmm. So like you throw in the regional ranking thing and the potential that you might not get in if you don't win your tournament, and that's just one more thing. And senior pride out of the 8 kids that we've got, and our junior class is unreal. I mean, they're the most successful players I've ever played in the OAC at this point. So there's a lot of things on the line, and winning the OAC tournament's huge.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, I know you guys will give it your best effort. Come Wednesday, you open up a semifinal match at 2 p.m. Regardless of who your opponent is, I know you'll be ready to go. So best of luck, and we'll talk to you again soon.